Yeah.
Sorry, my voice is already starting to go. Might not be good audio.
Not in mid-season form yet.
No, I yell a lot at practice. Got to be loud. So.
Sean, it wasn't too long ago when fall camp opened up. You were the redshirt freshman buried on the depth chart nobody knew about. Now things are a little different. What's it like being an old hat now?
I definitely feel old. You know, you remember the guys that were seniors when you were just getting here, and they're all gone, and now, you know, you're looking around. There's no one that's really older than you, except for maybe Mike and Boom. Yeah. But it's been a great experience over the years, and you know, I feel like I've learned a lot. You know, each year that I've been here, and as one of the older guys, I try to, you know, just build off of that, but then also help the young guys coming in. Because I remember, you know, it seemed like just yesterday that I was there, and my head was spinning for the first day. So I just try to help them as much as I can.
How did, you know, you've talked about working with the receivers this summer. Just can you kind of take us inside what that process was like to get you guys ready for fall camp?
Yeah, well, a lot of it is just routes on air, trying to get some timing down with them, you know, just getting a lot of reps, a lot of throws with each guy. And then as the summer went on, we worked into more 7-on-7 stuff. We did a lot of teamwork as a group with the whole offense, so we could, you know, break the huddle, line up, runs and passes, kind of everyone get lined up in the right place, have some good tempo, and run a play well. So it's a lot of various things, but really a lot of it's routes, a lot of it's, you know, some skelly stuff against the defense, and then some offense versus air.
Once a day, twice a day? How often were you out there?
Try to go every day. Try to go once every day.
Sean, aside from, you know, you talked about empathizing with the young guys, you know, thinking back to where you were, just for yourself personally, the changes between that year, that first camp to now, it seems like you're much more comfortable talking to us, more active on Twitter. Do you feel like you've come out of your show, you've blossomed?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. You know, everyone tells me I've been more talkative, which I guess that's a good thing. Try to make your guys' job easier, I guess, give you more material. But, you know, I guess a lot of it is kind of coming out of my shell. I've always felt I'm a quiet guy, and, you know, you just get more and more comfortable with your teammates and with the people around here. And I think as I've gotten older and gotten kind of more used to my surroundings year by year, I've felt a lot more comfortable speaking out and you know, whether it's Twitter or to you guys, you know, I feel like now I'm at the point where, you know, it's just second nature.
Confidence thing?
I mean, a little. I'm never a big talker, I don't think. But I do think as you're somewhere for a longer period of time, you're going to get more and more comfortable and more confident talking.
How about with your teammates and on the field? You mentioned how you're a little hoarse. Has your leadership grown a little bit with your vocalism?
I think it has. You know, I even as a young guy, I always just try to lead by example. I think you have to kind of earn the right from your teammates to speak out and you know, not necessarily get on a guy, but address something that needs to be addressed. For me, when I was elected captain as a sophomore, it was hard to speak out. You know, you're still one of the younger guys. There's still a lot of guys that were, like I said before, you were just a freshman. They were here starting already. But I think, you know, to be voted captain, it kind of is the affirmation from your teammates that they feel you're in a position to speak out if you think something needs to be said. And you kind of, like I was saying before, you just get more comfortable with your teammates and more comfortable, you know, speaking up. And I think I've grown into that pretty well.
Is that especially true now without a guy like Brandon, who was a pretty vocal leader?
Yeah, no, I definitely think so. You know, I think I've gotten more and more vocal year by year. I'd certainly say this off season, the spring, and you know, we're only one day in, but I'd definitely say I've been the most vocal I've ever been at this point.
Do you think that helps you with your performance and with the guys trusting you or listening to you?
You know, with me as an individual, I'm not sure, you know, what it does for me myself, but I think for a team, it's good that everyone can always be on the same page. And, you know, playing quarterback, in a lot of ways, you're kind of directing traffic on the field. And I think if I can be more vocal and more outspoken in terms of what guys need to be doing and where they need to be, that kind of thing, I think it'll help everyone be on the same page, yeah.
When you look at this receiver group as a whole, going back to the spring with so many young guys, Coach Brennan even said sometimes it was painful out there getting those guys ready. Does the group look different now going into fall camp after having the spring and having the summer to work up to this point?
Absolutely. And, you know, even if there were some growing pains in the spring, you could tell there was talent there for sure. A lot of guys coming off a red shirt, you know, that's a hard transition because, you know, you're coming in as a true freshman learning our plays, and then you take a 3 or 4 month break, and you're running just scout team plays. So there were some growing pains in spring. I think that's probably fair to say, but you could tell that they were talented, and that's what I really tried to do this whole offseason is, keep calling plays with them, keep breaking the huddle, lining up, running a play, so that we can, address some of the missed assignment issues, because that's stuff that can be fixed pretty easily, and then just getting a lot of reps with them.
You had some new guys too. Dockery's out there now. Someone like Jordan Dillerman's out there. Xavier Hawkins is getting a lot of reps. Just maybe some impressions of some of the brand new guys.
Yeah, I think they look great. It's day one, so
right.
I think I'm impressed with how well they did. Just this being their first practice here. Jordan's been around for a long time, so he's been getting a lot of reps with us on our own. So he's certainly not new, but it's good to see him kind of getting his first real chance to practice with the offensive group. And then Ramel, it was kind of the same thing this summer. He was around, couldn't work out with us, but he could throw with us on our own, and he's looked great. Xavier's brand new, but I've liked what I've seen so far. So day one, it's impressive to see how far along they are already.
Sean, you talked about confidence this year. You went back to this Manning camp and won the accuracy thing. Talk about that. Talk about that, what that was like and what it meant to you.
That was a great experience. Just the whole, I think it was 4 days, but the whole time it was to be around the Mannings and get to know them and talk with them and kind of ask them a lot of questions and really just kind of observe their approach to everything. That was the big thing I took away, was their focus on everything they do, how purposeful they are with every drill, every rep, every throw, and then ask them a lot of questions. And in terms of the accuracy, competition, I feel like I'm a competitive guy. When there's any sort of competition, I want to win, and felt really good about how I played and won it.
Sean, I know you met Marcus for the first time down there. A lot has been made about his class schedule. I was curious what your class schedule is going to be like this fall.
Well, since I'm in a master's program, I have to be a full-time student. So I got my degree this last fall, and I'm enrolled in a master's program, so I'm taking 9 credits. So
you wish you could do golf and yoga?
That sounds pretty appealing, yeah.
So what are your classes?
I think I got class on urbanization, a class on got some independent study. I'm still sorting it out.
That offensive line, obviously, it's still not completely 100% there because Isaac's still not back yet. But how's that coming along? Because like Josh Mitchell was back, and some guys that maybe got some good reps in the spring are there. So kind of how's that progressing?
I think it's been great. Obviously, I want to knock on wood, but to have Josh back and healthy is great for us. He played a lot of football for us last year. And I think for some of the younger tackles, especially, Bobby was brand new in the spring. Dustin, I think he only had 5 practices under his belt in spring ball. Will Hopkins as well. For them, just to be able to develop physically, I think physically they're a lot stronger, a lot heavier now, and that's obviously going to help on the offensive line. So I think the combination of getting some of our experienced guys who are a little banged up back, and then also some of our guys transitioning into playing offensive line or playing at this level offensive line, for them to have some chance to develop physically, I think it's done a lot for us.
Sean, how's it been working with Coach Garrett? Is there any differences in this offense from last year?
There's not a lot of differences. Coach Garrett came in and certainly made his critiques, and we made some changes. And it's Coach Riley's system. And then what was great about it was Coach Garrett kind of came in and looked at what we did last season critically and said, what were we best at? What were we worst at? What can we tweak to make it better? To have that fresh perspective on our whole offense and make some tweaks and change some things has been great. The bulk of it's the same, but I think the refinement that we've gotten with Coach Garrett has been what's really been valuable for us.
In the spring, he said you could have thrown for about 6,000 yards last year. I mean, to hear that, what has he done? You talked about confidence, but how big of a part has he played in that?
Oh, it's been great. He's been outstanding. I've loved working with him ever since he got here. He's very receptive to me asking him questions or asking my thoughts on certain plays. And for us kind of being brand new with each other, last spring and now coming into our first fall together, it's I think it's great to have that kind of interaction and us kind of get on the same page, because I have to know what he wants in a play, I have to know what Coach Riley wants in a play, and for us to develop that relationship quickly, I think has been a good start for us.